Welcome back to Words No One Wants to Hear. I hope almost no one wants to hear them. We talk here about immortality, dear friends. I would not waste your time or my time if the goal or the thought directed to it would be we want to become of what we already are. We just forgot it. We are not aware of it. I make you aware of your truly immortal nature, of your divinity. The path to that is to overcome desire for life. And we know by now does not happen by suicide or something like that, but by daily meditating, dropping all desires in meditation, and still remain. Isn't that beautiful? Because that you desire will be taken from you anyway. Will be ripped away from you at the moment of death, which can be now. In this second when you listen to me, boom. See, this is the way of the warrior. A warrior lives, a spiritual warrior, dear friends, lives as if he would die, or his upadis, his vehicles, his body and so forth, could die any second, or would die any second. This is not negative. This is not depressing. This is positive. Because you strengthen your immortal, eternal, timeless, eternal, parentless, anupapadaka part, your divine spark, that which you are, but which is now encased in physical world, in activities of the senses to which you may cling and thus identify yourself with that which has to perish. You see the circle? The vicious circle? And now if we overcome our desire, suddenly we become fully aware God's spark. And now, as I promised in the past lecture, comes the miracle. Once you have overcome all desire for life, and you know that you are God, you can merge into the Godhead, or you can renounce nirvana, and you become an adept. Now, an adept is mainly for occult reasons in a male body. Also female adepts, no problem. Because an adept is a hermaphrodite. That means he has no more gender. Now that God spark manifests mostly in a male body because Kundalini is for now activated in a male body for that purpose in a stronger way, maybe. That's one explanation. Now you become an adept. Now you see, you overcame the desire for life. And when you do that, when you renounce nirvana, you remain in the physical world, you become master of the physical world, you rule all beings in material world. An adept can sit in his chair, in his wheelchair or rocking chair or how you call it, and he leaves the physical body and he rules armies of devas. He is involved in activities who have to do with the structure of the universe, with the building of new solar systems, with a birth of beings, with reincarnations of beings who are maybe in connection with the adept, and the adept guides them to what goal? Godhead. You have to in order to gain life, says Jesus, you have to overcome life. Only a few people understand the true meaning of such words. And so when you live your daily life free from attachment, and yet you are doing things for necessity. You help others, of course, you do your job, you teach, but you are free from greed. You eat only, yes, you can enjoy your food, you see what I mean, but not beyond necessity. This is the fine line. And you become more and more aware of your immortal divine nature. You are God. So now you are in a physical body, temporary body. I mean, it's like you have a t-shirt or a dress, You take it off, you're still there. And this awareness, anatta, not the self, which the Buddha taught, everything that you are aware of as perishable is not the self. He never said there is no self. This is, how could I call it, a raping of the teaching of the Buddha by that Mr. Dalai Lama, who said the Buddha taught there is no self. I mean, this is an insult of Buddhic teaching beyond comprehension. And most Buddhists think there is no self. Then why do you bother if there's no self? When you're dead, no? Why do you bother about the skandhas and so forth? Excuse me, dear friends, when I sidetrack here. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this Buddhism, this VIP Buddhism, Richard Gere Buddhism, as I call it, is geared to being attached to the world. Okay, be it. I'm not more saint than the Pope, be it. But you should just know when you study Divine Message from the True God or the Book of Light that it will lead you back to a new incarnation and to new suffering to the extent that you are attached to that which was ripped away from you in death. See, an adept incarnates too. Don't think for a moment that an adept can live eternally in a physical body. No way. 300, 400, 500 years maybe. Then he drops that body, but consciously. He never loses awareness when his vehicle or upadi or vahan perishes away. He is fully liberated God spark. And he remains in astral, mental, emotional levels and so forth and cosmic planes, or he takes on immediately a new body, which he can also form with etheric matter by Kriya Shakti, or, dear friends, he incarnates through a female womb, impregnated, because right now we are in the situation of separation of the genders, you see, of the different genders. There will be a time when sexual reproduction will not be anymore as it is. There will be another way of reproduction. We talk about that another time. But an adept, a God spark, a fully liberated God spark, can, while he incarnates through a female womb in a impregnated womb as a fetus, an embryo, he waits aside as a fully conscious being on the astral or mental realm in his mental body, in his emotional body. And he waits until the time comes to get more and more into that embryo until it's developed. From time to time it initiates it with his power of Kriya Shakti, of his divinity, and then fully gets into that body and is, of course, as an adept, he grows up in a surrounding that is where he is not threatened by anything. See, this man has overcome, or this being has overcome. He will be guided and separated, and no, not separated. Separated from the evil influences. He will be protected by angelic powers. See? He will be provided with everything. And the only thing, dear friends, he did was to overcome desire for life. And life eternal was given to him. Life eternal means that you don't lose consciousness at the moment of death. You switch fully conscious. See, it is like, compare it to you have shirt. You see, you take that shirt off fully conscious. You put it aside. Are you still? Sure you are. This is what you experience as a liberated God spark at the moment of death. There's no death for you because you're immortal. Timeless, eternal, immortal being. You have become that by listening to that message, by following the path. And when you do that, an adept will get in touch with you. First, step by step. Most people couldn't stand the of an adept. They would explode. The Kundalini would rip them apart. And of course, dear friends, it has also to do when you are detached from sense pleasures, you see. Then you have sex in order to create new life. Yes, you will experience an orgasm and it will be pleasurable, but you won't yield to it beyond necessity. And that and Kundalini will remain in you, and it will go up to all chakras until the highest. It will explode. It will go through your top of your head. May not happen this time, this life, but you are on the path. This is why it's called the path. The path has many stations, many, like a ladder of Jacob, has many steps. And long journey begins with the first step. And this is the promise of the path. The path promises you immortality in awareness. What more do you want? There's nothing else. You see, and all form has to perish. Yet, as we will see in our lectures on the path, spirit and matter are eternal. So they are eternal. Why then is my body not eternal? In essence it is. Mula prakriti, root matter. But in form, it is not. It changes form. And to the extent that we are attached to the form, we experience suffering when this form changes, returns to its source, Mula Prakrit, root matter, to then attain, in our next incarnation, a new form, according to our state of awareness and desire of the past life. See, this is a prolongation, we could say, to be continued, a continuation of our past life we experience now. And we can dive deeper into matter, get deeper attached to matter, or we can cautiously begin to detach from that which we essentially are not, to which we just cling. We did cling until now to it, and now we see, this is like a seed. This is the first thought now. We are dissatisfied with things that are perishable. No, actually, we don't think further. We say, okay, we enjoy now life, and death, and then it's over. Okay, but there are few who say, well, that's very dissatisfying. Pleasure arises and passes away. Sexual pleasure arises and passes away. Arises and passes away. The time will come in more and more people and beings as they're dissatisfied with that. Is there nothing that remains? You remain. And you can only experience that remaining, that immortality, that continuity, when you don't identify anymore with that which perishes. And you do that in not yielding or not being attached anymore to the pleasures provided to you by seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, even by thinking. And you do that in daily meditation. When all these activities stop, and it will happen sooner or later, soul breath meditation, and you still remain, this is the only immortality that can be given to you. And the rest is anti-age, new age talking. Keep the body alive and so forth, and do all this Botox stuff. And it's nonsense. And Satan, Lord of the world, the Mama Chohan, he has his job, this being, to make you aware. You see, no temptation, no overcoming. You will see that throughout the path. Don't curse the devil. He is necessary. Satan, the adversary. How can you grow if he doesn't if he first doesn't draw you into that temptation of being attached to taste, smell, touch, hear, thought. So he's your teacher. He makes you aware of where you don't belong or what you should not do. So don't curse him. Don't worship him. Be just aware he is your teacher. He leads you towards your true immortal nature by tempting you with the pleasures of mortal and perishable things.